love. Say I'm back at it like I never love. Say I'm back at it like I never love. Say I'm back at it like I, like I, like I, like I, like I. Say I'm back at it like I never love. Say I'm back at it like I never love. Say I'm back at it like I never love. I said I'm back, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back at it like I never loved. I say I'm back at it like I never loved. I say I'm back at it like I never loved. Like I never loved. Cause I never loved. Yeah, 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 yeah. We the biggest, by the way. We are the biggest, by the way, man. Ambitious one. It's a pleasure to see you, goddess. I'm gonna let it fill up a little bit more before I get started. We got a good one today. I'm going full solo mode today. I don't play no games because Nicki Minaj got you and me fucked up. She didn't use the community. Now she's doing exactly what I always thought about her. She being a coon. And we're going to talk about what an Uncle Tom is. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today, so it's a pleasure to see you. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday. I hope all is well with you. For those of y'all watching this back, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Also, if you want to figure out how to make some money, you want to figure out how to make $10,000 in 30 days, go ahead and watch my live that I just did, I don't know, 6 days ago. I explained in depth on how to make some money. You know what I'm saying? So don't forget to do that. I appreciate y'all being here. What up with a dog? What up with a goddess? What up with a king? What up with a king? It's a pleasure to see y'all. Hold on, let me get my water real quick. I don't got my mic because I forgot to charge it. I forgot to charge it last night. Don't pay attention to that label, y'all. They're not paying me. Don't pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? What time is it? Oh, it's 2:08. I'm gonna give it about 2:30, and then we're just gonna go full in. You know what I'm saying? Starting with Nicki Minaj. Cause she got like one song that I like. You know what I'm saying? That I used to listen to. But I don't listen. You know what I'm saying? I don't really listen to that shit no more. She got like one shit on that I used to like. Let's see. We at about 2:30. Where I got, 3 is my magic number. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Double tap the screen because we are the biggest, by the way. I can't see with that shit on. You know what I mean? I got to go full solo mode. We're talking about Nicki Minaj today. That's the first topic. We're talking about Nicki Minaj, Charlie Kirk, not really Erica Kirk. I don't care about that bitch. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about Charlie Kirk. We're talking about YNs. We're talking about anti-blackness. And we're talking about, like, Uncle Tom. Like, what the fuck is an Uncle Tom? You know what I'm saying? But the first thing we're gonna talk about is Nicki Minaj and how much of a degenerate she is. So y'all remember Nicki Minaj, right? Nicki Minaj, that anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, huh? You remember? She basically made a porno rap video. She was like the first kind of like a whore female rapper after Lil' Kim that really became mainstream. Nicki Minaj the whore. You remember Nicki Minaj the whore? Remember? Oh, well, now, all of a sudden now, she's pro-MAGA, she's pro-Trump. Your political affiliation I don't really care about, but she's pro-MAGA, she's pro-Trump, and she's going on public platforms speaking at the United Nations, speaking against Christian discrimination in Nigeria, because she cares so much about being Christian. Since when was Nicki Minaj a Christian? Since when has Nicki Minaj been a Christian? Since when? Was she a Christian when she was talking about anaconda don't? My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, huh? Was she a Christian then? Or was she a Christian when she was when she's dating the dude, her baby daddy, right? Because that's her baby daddy. I don't think they married. She's a degenerate. So her baby daddy that was convicted of child molestation, was she a Christian then? No, she's a Christian now when it benefits her. She's a Christian now. Now she cares about Christians. She cares about Christians in Nigeria. Don't get me wrong, there are Christians being persecuted all over the world. There's Muslims being persecuted all over the world. There's different denominations that are being persecuted everywhere. There's different denominations that's being persecuted right here. But she cares about Christians in Nigeria. Since when? Yo, these people, they like to jump ship and they like to affiliate with things only when it benefits them. These people are selective with their political affiliations. Now she's a Christian. Now she cares about the persecution of Christians. Nothing about this whore is Christian. Yeah, I'm calling her a whore. She's the worst, she's the lowest tier of what a black female is. She's the lowest of it. Do you want to know the reason why black female rappers think that they gotta expose themselves and they gotta be overly sexual and they gotta talk about sucking dick? You want to know why? Nicki Minaj, whore. Now she's talking about Christians in Nigeria, a whore. Why would I listen to a whore? So why am I upset that she's aligning herself with a Trump figure and she's aligning herself with MAGA? Because MAGA is trying to extract oil out of Nigeria, so they need a black face to do it. So they chose a whore. They chose a whore to do it. I'm tired of these people, bro. I'm tired of people using my community, and then when it doesn't benefit them anymore, they jump ship. Fuck a Nicki Minaj. Fuck a Cardi B. A Lotto. Yeah, out of all people, they chose a whore. Out of all people, they chose a whore. They chose a whore to speak. And then they're saying, hey, look, we got a black face. They choose degeneracy. When Kodak Black spoke at the pro-Trump rally, when Lil Pump spoke at the Trump MAGA rally, they choose degenerates. They choose the lowest parts of our culture to represent us. Nicki Minaj does not represent black women. She represents whores. All right, I'm done calling her a whore. No, I'm not. She's a whore. And if she's not a whore in her personal life, she's outwardly displayed herself and promoted herself and benefited from exposing herself. And has created a culture of promiscuity amongst the black culture. When we didn't need any more flack. We didn't need any more motherfuckers looking down on us. We didn't need that shit. We didn't need Nicki Minaj to do that. Welcome in, everybody. I went full solo mode. I go by the name SOLARMAN. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, because we do nothing but spit facts over here. And I'm pro my people. I'm not a black nationalist. I'm not a black supremacist. I'm pro defense. I'm pro my people. And I'm tired of whores. I'm tired of gangsters. I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm tired of it. And I have to display evil. I have to destroy evil wherever I see it. I'm a demon slayer. I don't subscribe to the denomination of Christianity, but I am a follower of Jesus. And Jesus spoke against shit like this. Jesus wasn't a popular dude amongst his people. You know, they kind of used to talk shit about him. He kind of used to say that he think he's so much better and special than everybody. That's who Jesus was. I'm not comparing myself to Jesus. I'm saying I'm a follower of Jesus. And he would speak against this whore. Talking about protecting Christians in Nigeria. What about us right here? Little black girls right here. They follow you. They listen to you. They love you. They love you. And you're a whore with a whorish spirit. And you've done nothing but promote degeneracy and promiscuity amongst the nations. Same shit with a Cardi B. I don't fuck with none of this shit. And I'm not just a female rapper thing. Fuck them male rappers too. I talked about that yesterday. So today is their turn. It's their turn today. It's their turn today. Cardi B, fuck them. Nicki Minaj, fuck them. Literally, that's what they do. They promote themselves as prostitutes. Oh, you guys don't know. You don't know that most of these female rappers selling pussy. Y'all know that? You ain't know that? You ain't know that? 90% of them are whores, actually. And then they get these platforms and then they speak amongst the nations as if they represent us as a conglomerate. They do not. Megan Thee Stallion, whore. I'm tired of them, bro. I'm tired of whores speaking as if they speak for black women. Fuck them. Burn them at the stake. Burn them at the stake. I'm playing, but I'm not playing. I'm tired of this shit, bro. I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of a Nicki Minaj. You know what she said? This is what she said. She said, I really want to congratulate Trump for speaking out against and denouncing persecution and I want to say malignance. I don't know why I want to say malignance. I don't know if that's a word, but speaking out against the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. It sounds good, doesn't it? It sounds really good, doesn't it? It sounds like a good thing, right? Right? That sounds good, right? Speaking out against Christians, okay, in Nigeria. I don't know why she had to go so far, because right here, daily black Americans through anti-black rhetoric that has been perpetuated amongst the nations and perpetuated in the U.S. We deal with shit every day. But apparently she had to go to Nigeria. Why? Because the U.S. has interest in Nigeria. The U.S. wants to extract oil out of Nigeria. So they need a black face to do it. And it just so happens they're using this whore. They're using this whore to do it. I don't respect her. I don't respect her face. I don't respect what she's done to her body. She's the first female. Have you seen pictures of her before she blew up? She was built like me. You see how I'm flat chested? Don't look at my butt. No Diddy. No 607 unk. You know what I'm saying? Don't look at my chest, don't look at my butt. But I'm saying she was flat chested and flat butt. And because she felt like she needed to promote herself, she needed to change her image. She's the first BBL rapper, other than Lil Kim. She's the second. Lil Kim was kind of naturally built though, and then she destroyed herself because of molestation, drugs, and just the industry. Nicki Minaj represents the lowest tier of degeneracy in my culture. She represents the lowest tier of what a melanated female looks like. She promotes promiscuity. She promotes herself as if her body is natural. It's not natural. She's not a natural person. She's not a naturally well-spoken person. Then when she was on this platform, right? Because she's on Fox News with the shit. The most anti-black news station that there is. You got Fox News and then you got Sky News Australia. They're just like white nationalist ran. She gets on this platform and then she starts speaking so eloquently in front of all these white folks. Why aren't you rapping? Rap, ho. They got to rap. That's what they got you for. They got to rap, ho. Why don't you rap, ho? Why don't you speak the same way that you talk to us? When you call yourself the queen, when you speak down to niggas, why don't you talk like that to them? Why are you speaking so well now? Why are you so eloquently well spoken now? Oh, because there's different elements to you, there's different layers to you. I will give her credit for this. She's from Trinidad and Tobago. She's not from the 50 states that niggas gotta live in. She's from Trinidad and Tobago. She's Caribbean. You could consider her American or whatever, but she was born in Trinidad and Tobago. I will give her this. She's donated money to little girls, schools, and stuff like that in her home country of Trinidad and Tobago. She's done that. Okay, cool. But, whore, what you did was you came domestically, and because your natural rapping skills didn't promote you quick enough, you sold your soul. You start rapping about sucking dick. You start rapping about just being a finesser of men. Little boys, because men, we don't value shit like that. A woman doesn't look like her. Women don't look like her. Whores look like her. And because a lot of little girls don't have examples of a proper example to follow, when you're young and your mind is easily malleable and easily moldable, you follow bullshit. NBA Youngboy, Nicki Minaj, you follow bullshit. And so what does this hoe do? This hoe gets on stage and she starts speaking eloquently at an Erica Trump rally, at a Erica Trump. That's basically who that is. But Erica Kurt, whatever the fuck her name is, Erica Kurt, thing, Trump thing. And she starts speaking so nicely in front of all these white folk. Coon, that's a real coon. Y'all want to talk about an Uncle Tom? That's my next topic. But let's talk about what a coon is. That's a coon. Somebody who speaks one way to you, and then who start tap dancing once they get around massa. Once they get around massa, they start talking different. No, bitch, talk the same way. Talk the same way. Talk the same way. Talk the same way. Talk how you be talking to us niggas. You know, when you be talking down to us and you be calling yourself a queen, you cokehead. Tired of these people, bro. I'm tired of them, bro. I'm tired of them being one way when they're around blacks. And then when they get around them, they want to talk different. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Death to whore culture. Death to gangster culture. That's my next topic. That's one of my topics. But yeah, fuck Nicki Minaj. Fuck her. And her pedophile boyfriend. Fuck him. Fuck him. I don't care about meeting any of these people, bro. I don't care about meeting any of these people, bro. If making it in the industry means that I have to be around these type of degenerates, these type of whores, these type of self-destructive, manipulative blacks that tap dance in front of white people, but then want to get gangster and want to get tough around me. Fuck them. Fuck the industry. I'll get money a different way. I have my own shit. I'll be okay. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Because if it means I got to be around these, I won't be able to hold my tongue. If they could ever confront me about some shit I didn't say, I won't be able to hold it. You know, they'll want to hurt me. And then I'll have to kill them or die. You know? Fuck that, man. Talking about what's going on in Nigeria. And it's not fuck Nigeria. But it's like, I got shit going on right here. Why don't you stand up and speak against shit that's going on right here? When that little black girl died in Atlanta, a lot of y'all might not know about this because it happened like 1.5 years to 2 years ago. When that little black girl died in Atlanta because of gang violence, she was a Christian. When Lil Ronnie, y'all know Lil Ronnie, Get Money Lil Ronnie? Y'all might not. He from Fort Worth, Texas. But his daughter died. Y'all might have seen that. It went national. It was a national story. Y'all might have seen that shit. Get Money Lil Ronnie. His daughter died. It was a Fort Worth rapper that's associated with Go Yayo. Y'all know Go Yayo? Gay Yayo? The dude that bent over and showed his booty hole? Y'all know that? Y'all know that? Anyways, he associated with Gay Yayo. Go Yayo. I used to love these. Anyways, man. I used to love these people. That's why I can speak out against them. Fuck them. Anyways, Get Money Lil Ronnie was killed at a car wash in a red Charger. Due to some beef that he had. He got out the car after they started shooting the car up. He got out the car and left his daughter in the car. Yeah, he died like a coward too. But anyways, he got out the car and started running away. Anyways, a little black girl died. I'm pretty sure she was Christian. A little black girl died. That just happened about around this time last year. That just happened. And then the other little girl that I'm talking about lived from Atlanta. She died in downtown Atlanta by that mall. Y'all know that mall I'm talking about. I can't think of this shit. Lenox? Is that what it's called? Lenox? Yeah, Lenox. She died in Atlanta because of a drive-by shooting. I didn't hear this bitch say nothing then. I'm tired of these people, bro. I'm tired of them. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. And anybody else, I used to like your music, shorty. Pills and potions, we're losing focus. I'm angry, but I still love you. I still love, I still love, I still love, I still love, I still love. I used to like that shit. Pills and potions, though. You heard what I just sung to you. A spell. These people put demonic spells on us. They use us for our attention, for our energy, for our money, for our mind. And then when they can't use us anymore, they jump ship. Death is the only thing that'll solve this. Death. And it doesn't have to be that they die or we kill them. Meaning that death to the attention that we give them. Death to the money that we use to support them. Death. It has to die. And you're not going to be popular talking about it. You know? And females, they don't like hearing you talk about that. I like Nicki Minaj. I like Cardi B. She's funny. They be doing dumbass banter. You know, the way that, curtailing the way that I speak in order to be funny. You know, it's funny when I speak, what's the word? When I speak badly, when I speak English badly. You know, I'm pro speaking well. You know, I'm pro having intelligence. You know, I don't think Cardi B is cute just because she's honest. She's a whore. She's a whore. That's why she's honest. Most hoes honest. You wanna hear some honesty? Go talk to a hoe. They'll be honest with you. She was honest when she talked about how she came up setting up goofy, horny people who would pay her for some sex, and she'll drug them and then she'll rob them. She was honest with that. You know, that's cool. She's a whore. Whores are honest. You know, whores are honest. And that's what's up. That she's an honest whore. But what did we do? These labels, these black gatekeepers and these Ashkenazi Jew motherfuckers, they supported this because it means the destruction of my people. That's why I care about it. Because it's my people. And black little girls don't have, you know, we live in a very extremely hypersexual culture. And the most sensitive victims are the most people that are most vulnerable to this shit is little black girls. Little black girls. Because they're examples of what to be and who to be are whores. A lot of them are, I think it's about 6 to 7 out of 10 black girls have spoken about some form of sexual molestation that they've experienced in their lives. Part of the reason for that shit is shit like this there. It's the music. It's the culture. It's destructive. It's evil. It's sick. Because that's what's being promoted. I don't respect whores. I don't respect gangsters. I don't respect thugs. Fuck them. Die. Die. Die today. Now. Please do us a favor and die. Because you've made money and you've made your whole image based off of talking about and acting like you're from my environment and then acting like it's liberating for you to be a whore. Die. I don't respect you. I don't respect you. I don't respect you at all. I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about Uncle Tom. Does anybody know what Uncle Tom is? Or who Uncle Tom is? Make sure I ain't miss none of y'all comments. Pro defense all day. Facts. You a gang member? I don't gang bang, bro. And if I did, I'd denounce that shit. Yeah, they be going to Dubai and selling pussy and getting doo-dooed on. They be getting shitted on because they're whores. And they'll do anything for some money. You don't believe me? Go listen to Sukiyana. She's a whore. She's an honest whore. She'll explain it. Go listen to Sukiyana. But don't let me get distracted real quick. Correct. Samba was a sellout. So you want to know who? So we got this thing in the black culture, right, where we talk about, here Uncle Tom. Like that's what some street niggas will say to me. They be like, you an Uncle Tom ass nigga. You just want to look like the white man, talk like the white man, be the white man. Nah, I want to be a man, bro. I'm a man before anything. So no, I wouldn't be no gangbanger. That's why I never wanted to gangbang. One, because I'm from Texas and I'm from Ohio. We don't gangbang. And anybody claiming gangs out of these places, they not, you know what I mean? They kept. I'm a man first, before anything and before everything. I only want to be a man. I don't want to be nothing else but a man. A man of God. And my God hates shit. My God speaks against shit. My God puts spirit in his people to go against evil. You can kill the body, but you can't kill the spirit. Can't kill the spirit. Can't kill the spirit. Who was Uncle Tom? Uncle Tom, Josiah, I believe his name was Josiah Smith. He was actually a freedom fighter. Josiah Smith actually freed more than 200 slaves from Maryland and took them to Toronto, Canada, or part of Canada. He actually owned over 200 acres, and he actually was actually a beautiful man. But because a white propaganda and white nationalism. They took the Uncle Tom's Cabin story that was written in 1862, or yeah, 1862. They took the story and through Broadway and through media, because these people are infatuated with our death. These people are infatuated with our lives. We're entertainment for these cunts, But anyways, they took his story, and through the perversion of his story, he became a buck dancer. He became a jolly big lit nigga that said yes, massa. That's who he became. But Uncle Tom, actually, who he was, Josiah Smith, who he actually was, the man who the story is based off of, he was a stand-up man. He was a strong man. He saw his father get his ear cut off by a white boy. He saw his father get his ear cut off and get whipped and lashed and got shipped to Mississippi, and he never saw his father again. That happened when he was about 13 to 16. That's Josiah Smith. That's Uncle Tom. So when you hear somebody say Uncle Tom, oh, you are Uncle Tom, and they're trying to say that you're a coon, no, what they actually should say, what we should start saying is, no, they're a Nicki Minaj. No, they're a Candace Owens. No, they're a Hodge twins. No, they're Officer Tate. That's what we should say. That's what they mean. Not Josiah Smith. Not the pro man who just wanted his people to have peace and who have the sovereignty to have freedom and liberation. Not him. No, that's not Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom, there's no Uncle Tom. What you're talking about is Sambo. Sambo is a derogative term that was used by whites in Broadway as they did blackface. Because again, these people are infatuated with us. We're not infatuated with them. Some of our culture is. Nicki Minaj, she's one of the bitches that's infatuated. Where how she wears colored contacts to make herself look like them. How she calls herself a Barbie. To look like them. You know what I mean? How they dye they. Look, if you want to dye your hair and you want to look cool and you just want to do different, I done did the shit. But I'm saying that's more a simulation of white culture. We're going to talk about it. It's an assimilation of white culture. If we're going to talk about it. So, Uncle Tom wasn't Uncle Tom. Nicki Minaj is an Uncle Tom. Nicki Minaj, that's what you mean. That's what you mean. Candace Owens, that's what you mean. Sambo was a Broadway character that was adapted by whites in order to perpetuate the narrative of a dumb slave type of being and how we're slow. So when you watch the early cartoons in the early 1900s and things of that nature, you see how blacks are perpetuated, or I'm sorry, how blacks are represented in the cartoons. How our lips be like right here, how our our eyes be all buck, and we be talking yes, massa, and yeah, massa, and blah, 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 yeah, and I want some watermelon and chicken. That's Sambo, and there's no evidence of a black. Well, let me slow down. There is evidence of blacks acting like that on media, because at one point in time, particularly in the early 1900s, in order for blacks to be on media, they had to operate in a way that was subservient or lowered their intelligence rate in order to have a role in Hollywood. So what do I mean by that? If you go watch a lot of movies that are from the early 1900s, and including Charlie Chan flicks, I'm a thespian myself. I'm an actor myself, and I love film. One of my favorite actors, by the way, is I guess he's not my favorite, but somebody that I look up to was Sidney Poitier. He's a good example of a black man being represented in media. But anyways, outside of that, how we used to have to represent ourselves, like that. But we have to talk like this. So I don't know, sir, or miss. We had to talk very ignorantly. We have to talk very subserviently. We have to talk very lowly. We have to make ourselves very lowly in order to be accepted by whiteness. That's Sambo. And it's a created thing because whites could not tolerate a black intelligence, because it scares them. It scares them. Not all whites. I'm not putting you people into a conglomerate. I'm aware that there's differences in you people. But I'm saying you people as a whole, most of your people have come against my people. Historically speaking. Even to this day, and I'm gonna get to that. So that's Sambo. That's Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom is not who you think. Uncle Tom, or Josiah Smith, was actually a stand-up revolutionary man who freed over 200 people. So I just want y'all to get that clear. Moving forward, different examples of actual Sambos, of actual coons. I want to introduce you to somebody. I want to introduce you to Candace Owens. You look like somebody I would never hire. Good, because I would never work for you. I'm a boss. Cunt. I'm a boss. I would never work for you. You don't know me. You should watch my content. I hire people. I don't get hired. Cunt. Anyways. Cunt. Anyways. Listen to the story, you cunt. Anyways. Cunt. Anyways. Yeah, I'm on that bullshit today. Because I don't care. I was on bullshit yesterday too. Because these people got me fucked up, bro. These people got me fucked up, bro. These people got me fucked up. Anyways, let's introduce somebody. Let's introduce Candace Owens. Candace Owens. Who is Candace Owens? She is a, she is a right-winged bootlicker. She's a right-wing bootlicker. What's a bootlicker? Somebody who is subservient to white propaganda. Most of her, so who is Candace Owens? She's a social political commentator, a right-wing political commentator. Candace Owens has stated out of her mouth publicly that blacks, Americans, do not have conflict resolution skills. So she's pandering herself to white nationalism. You know, is Candace Owens, who is somebody who's actively involved in the black community, to be speaking on black issues? Does she have organizations that directly help black children and black little girls and black little boys have conflict resolution skills? Is she somebody that actively participates in the uplifting of her people? Or is she just a cunt? No, she's just a cunt. She's just a cunt. That's all she is. Candace, you're a cunt. I don't like you. I don't like anything about you. I don't like your face. I don't like the way you talk. I don't like how you stand. I don't like how you sit. I don't like when you speak. I don't like anything about you. I don't like Candace Owens. I don't like you. Let me tell you why I don't like you. One of the reasons I don't like you is because you said blacks don't have conflict resolution skills. I'm black, or whatever that connotation is. I have conflict resolution skills. I've been called a nigger. I didn't kill him. You know, that's a conflict resolution. If you ask me, that's conflict resolution right there. Getting called something so deplorable. And I didn't kill him. I didn't shoot him. That's conflict resolution right there. That's conflict resolution right there. You know? That's conflict resolution if you ask me. You know, being called something so nasty by someone who's less than me. And I didn't do anything to kill him. That's conflict resolution right there. You know? Being treated poorly by somebody that you looked up to and somebody that you paid. 607, You know? I didn't beat the fuck out of him. I didn't break his jaw. You know? I just told him that he was a bitch. You know? That's conflict resolution. You know? So, that's who Candace Owens is. Candace Owens is somebody who panders to her white audience, you know, because she goes home to white penis every day too. You know, that's what she does, you know. So she's not somebody that's actively involved in these communities that she's speaking out against. You know what else about Candace Owens? Candace Owens got raped by white men when she was in college. And you know who helped her? Candace Owens? Bitch. You know who helped you, bitch? The NAACP, bitch. The same group of people that you say don't have any conflict resolution skills. I'm pretty sure we had conflict resolution skills when we helped you after getting raped by those white boys that you pander to. Maybe that's why you have a white husband. Because your mind has been perverted. Maybe that's why you have a white husband, Candace. Because you hate yourself. And not saying that if you marry outside of your race, you hate yourself. But if you actively speak against a community that you're from and you're with the opposite side of that community, I'm pretty sure you hate yourself. Bitch. Yeah, I would tell Candace all of this to her face. Yeah, because she's an anti-black whore. And I don't like her. I don't like nothing about her. I used to like Kanye West. This wasn't part of my topic. I used to like Kanye West because I thought he was on to something. He's a panderer too. He's a bootlicker too. You know, back when we had the Black Lives Matter movement, I'm not here to debate the logistics of the organization itself. I'm just here to debate or talk about the terminology of my life mattering. Back when that was going on, cunts like Kanye West and Candace Owens made it their business to wear White Lives Matter shirts, as if white lives have never mattered, as if we're arguing against White Lives Matter. Why is it that a controversial topic, I'm gonna tell you why, but I'm just using, I'm playing double advocate. Why is it that my life matters is a controversial topic? White lives matter, all lives matter. Now we're talking semantics. Really? I learned that semantics word from a comedian, actually, by the way. I love that word because it's very telling. Anyways, Candace Owens and Kanye West, they decided to wear these White Lives Matter shirts and to go on a media run because they both have white bosses and owners. Like the person that said that they would never hire me, as if I would ever work for somebody like him. As if I need an opportunity from anyone. But anyways, because they're handlers, because they're masses, because their girlfriends or their wives or their husbands are white, they felt the need in order to wear a White Lives Matter shirt in order to make whites feel better about themselves, as if they ever needed any more confidence boosters. Again, I'm not a black supremacist. I'm not a black nationalist. I'm pro defense, and these people be on offense. So, Candace, you're a cunt and you're a whore, and I don't like you. Because the same people that you're so happy to protect and promote are the same people who think that you're still a nigger. I don't know if you know that, Candace. You're still a nigger. You'll always be a nigger, Candace. No matter how much white penis you take, no matter how many white lives you say matter, you'll always be a black nigger girl. That's who you'll be, just like me. No matter how well and eloquent I speak, no matter how I sit back and I do well for myself, no matter how many black youths that I speak life into, I'll always be a nigger to these people. Just so we're aware. So that's Candace Owens, a bootlicking cunt. Who says that black people don't have any conflict resolution skills. Again, I've been called a nigger. I didn't kill him. That's conflict resolution. 607 embarrassed me, on his platform. He tried to say some slick shit behind the scenes a couple times in front of a bunch of people, never one-on-one. I didn't break his jaw. That's conflict resolution. I just told him he was a bitch to his face, afterwards, after I thought about it. That's conflict resolution. I took time, I let it digest, and I was like, how do I feel about this? That's conflict resolution, Candace, bitch. Goofy bitch. Let's introduce some more characters. I'm going off of my thumbnail, which you guys should do, by the way, if you're just not watching this. Yeah, I'm speaking crazy, and you know what? I don't care. I go by the name SOLARMAN. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, because I'm only spitting facts. Then married one after the fact. It's crazy. It has to be self-fake. Yeah, she married a white guy after she got raped by white men in college. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. Not saying that all white men are rapists. Again, I'm not a fool, and I'm not a racist. I'm pro defense. Follow me, please. I hope you're following me. I hope you're intellectually sound enough to not be in your feelings about how I feel about people that are against my people. I hope you are, because sometimes y'all be messaging me and shit, and y'all be like, "Oh, you're a black supremacist." No, guy, sir, ma'am, I'm pro defense. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that. She got raped by a group of 3 to 4 white men. The NAACP came to her defense. She won a lawsuit. And she wasn't saying that we didn't have any conflict resolution skills then. I'm pretty sure helping somebody out who was violated is conflict resolution. Am I wrong about this? I don't believe so. But now she has all this anti-black rhetoric, because she's a whore. Yeah, I'm calling you a whore now, Candace. You're a whore and you're a bitch. And I don't do anything to women. But if I was a female, I'd beat the fuck out of you. I promise you I would. That's not conflict resolution though. That's not conflict. That's kind of going with what she's saying just because of her words. Now I want to punch her. That's not conflict resolution. So you're right about that, Candace. I need to work on that. You're right about that, Candace. You're right about that. You're right about that, Candace. Let's introduce some more people. Let's introduce the Hodge twins. You guys know the Hodge twins? The Hodge twins kind of look like me. Outside of, but they're actually biracial. I believe they have a white father, a white mother, and their parent or the other would be black. Both of my parents are what you would consider black. I'm not biracial by any means. We come in all forms and shades of colors. You know what I mean? So let's introduce the Hodge twins. I'll read y'all comments in just a second. The Hodge twins are social political commentators. They're not even political commentators. They're really just anti-black propagandists. They're social, but I'll give them their due to introduce them. They're social political commentators that comment on social political issues, particularly pertaining to Black Americans. They're Blue Lives Matter types. They're alt-right esque. But again, I told you that they're all of this in this nigga body though, and they continuously they look for and they only talk about issues that make my people look degenerate, that make my people look low informed, unintelligent, and really in the way. So that's who the Hodge twins are. The Hodge twins are another group that are self-hating because they believe that they fit in with whiteness just because they get paid from white subscribers who watch their videos and who want to agree with them. Like, yeah, see, they get it. Yeah, niggas always complaining. Niggas talking about racism and niggas talk, but stop black on black violence, stop gun violence. Do you know who your father is? We was Kane. That type of shit. The Hodge twins are panderers to a white nationalist alt-right type of rhetoric. That's who the Hodge twins are. And they benefit off of it. But you know what happened to the Hodge twins recently? That made me very happy. Because again, no matter how much white boot you lick, no matter how much ass you kiss from massa, you will always be a nigger to them. You will. No matter how much you pander to them, you will always be a nigger, boy. You'll always be a nigger. So what happened to them recently was they went to a national convention. I believe it was a MAGA convention. And they were trying to do some streaming. And they got caught. You know what they got caught? They got reminded of their place. They got called niggers. Did they stop pandering to massa? Then no, they just said, oh, that's just one example. So that's what they do. They us, blacks, we don't get the benefit of the doubt with these people. We're kind of all put together. We're kind of all degenerate. We're kind of all fucked up. But those people, they get, that's just one example. That's not them. But anytime something happens with a black person embarrassing themselves or embarrassing their family or publicly shaming themselves, they're the first ones. They're grifters. Thank you, Lord. That's the word I was looking for. They're white grifters. So anytime something happens that puts black people into a certain light, the Hodge twins, just like the good dick riders they are, they hop on that white dick train, and boy, they some good dick riders too. They take dick good. No Diddy. No 607 on. They take dick good. They take it real well. You know what I mean? They take it real well. So I don't respect them either. Make sure I'm not leaving anybody off the table. Oh, how could I forget about YNs? I can't forget about the YNs. I can't forget about the YNs. How am I gonna forget about the YNs? Thank you for reminding me. Because since we're talking about people that are actively against our culture, let's talk about the YNs. Does anybody know what a YN is? I'm sure you do. But does anybody know what a YN is? I'll wait. I'll give it a second. While I read some comments. Sober driver tonight. Gotta go get some friends. Keep up the good work. Right on. Be careful. Enjoy your evening. They found out that they were black. It was funny as hell. Yep, it was definitely funny. They found out that they were black because they forgot. Yes, but I can't say it. Yeah, bro, I appreciate you being here, dog. I appreciate you being here, bro. You're able to look past you're able to look past the emotion of what I'm saying and actually listen to what I'm saying. So I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I'll say it for you. YN represents, it's the short acronym version, but YN represents young nigga or young nigger, however you want to look at it. Do you know who coined the term YN? Because I don't. But every time I look in the comments, I'll be seeing some white boy with some shades on. You feel me? With some shades on. You know the type of white boy I'm talking about. It's either some shades on or some bitch ass little boy, showing off his muscles, talking about must be a YN or the usual suspects. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers be having the most jokes, because they ain't never got punched in their shit, I guess. You know what I'm saying? They be acting like they know black people or that they associate themselves with blackness to even speak on blackness in the get-go. Anyways, YN means young nigga, young nigger, however you want to look at it. And I got to speak out against the YNs too. You feel me? I got to speak out against the YNs too, because YNs are a direct result of this demonic, overly sexual, overly tough culture that we find ourselves in. They're the worst. They're the lowest tier of my culture, a YN, And the reason that they're like this is because they're lost and misguided. So it's the blind following the blind. That's what a YN is. It's the blind following the blind. So whenever you see these little bitch ass little boys with their ski mask on, and you feel me, and they hand in their pants like this, and they probably do got something on them too. And you can't say that they won't shoot it. They will shoot it because a lot of them bitches, and a lot of them can't throw these bitches right here. A lot of them can't do nothing with these right here. You'll beat the fuck out of them if you just push the fuck out of them. That's why they got to come back with a switch. You know what I'm saying? Because they hoes. They hoes. They straight up hoes. Schwuffo Lord. They straight up hoes. So that's what a YN is. A YN is actually like one of the lowest tiers of my culture, and it represents a part of my culture that is destructive and that is hurt and that is lost and misguided because they don't have any. And then this is with the white boys and the white women who don't want to like my culture no way. And it's not just whites, it's blacks too. I just told you, Candace Owens, Hodge twins, it's Indians, it's Asians, anybody who wants to find a reason to speak against my culture. This is an example that they'll use. YN, you see them, they're destructive. Black on black violence. As if anybody ever gives a fuck what happens to black people in the get-go. But black on black violence. Look at them. Look at the way that they dress. Look at the way that they move. When they be having I ain't gonna do it, but when they be having their ass all out, sagging and all that faggot ass shit that they be doing. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff that they be doing. That's what YNs be doing. How did we get to a place of having a YN culture? I just told you. I'll tell you again. The way that we got to a YN culture, I know I didn't tell you, I kind of alluded to it. The way that we got to a YN culture is because we have a culture. We have a culture that promotes degeneracy and that promotes it promotes survival instincts over long-term value. I'll break it down into simpler terms. Ever since gangster music's inception, since the 80s, we've really had a culture of YNs, young lost souls who follow other young lost souls and correct and act in and go with acts of criminality. That's who a YN is. Someone who goes with acts of criminality and follows other young degenerates to enact criminality. And they usually hang in packs because by themselves, they have no direction, they have no thought process, they have no critical thinking skills, and they have and they're unable to defend themselves. It's the blind leading the blind. Sure, I can speak on all that shit, I just got to speak out against shit that's directly against my culture. Let's talk about cracker. Cracker is not really an insult to whites. Cracker is not an insult to whites because what cracker relates to slave terms when that southern white boy, the unintelligent one, he would go around cracking the whip to keep the slaves in control. So it was just a term to refer to him. The person that whipped you. The cracker. It's not an insult. They don't like the word cunt. That's why I use cunt whenever one of them talks to me. That's why I use cunt. They don't like that word. But cracker, they could care less. Most of them, they could care less. But cunt, nah, they don't like that. That's why I call them cunts. The ones that want to speak against me. But I'm still cooking. You know what I'm saying? A YN, right? Because if you read comments, you see people, you see black people too, making all these videos talking about YN's this, YN's that. Oh, look at this YN, or calling their little nephews and nieces YNs. Look at my little YNs. I've been called a YN on platform. I got called a YN on Unk platform. Ain't nothing YN about me, other than I guess I'll beat the fuck out you and I'll kill you if you do something to me. But that's not YN. That's just, I think that's just normal human shit. You know? I think that's just normal human shit. But the fact that we got some blacks doing this, perpetuating the narrative of a YN, again, calling their little young ones and laughing at shit, videos of just young lost souls being degenerate and being lost, as if, you know, I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of it, bro. It make me sick. A lot of these people make me sick, bro. Anybody that's over the age of 20 calling themselves a YN or calling other parts of their family members YNs, I think that they should be beat up, at least. I want to say some more shit, but I don't, you know, they should get hands put on them, at least. Any grown adult making a video perpetuating, I be seeing this too. It's, you know, this is kind of on topic, off topic. I be seeing this too. I be seeing videos of a father and his little boys reenacting movies or you know, videos where it's like some gangster shit going on. Like it'll be like this. He'll be talking to his sons, and you know, they'll be saying word for word some gangster shit that was going on in the movie. You know, and he'll title it like when YNs do this, like, you know, he's but if you look at the father and the people that promote these videos, they're not intelligent people. They don't represent my, you know, they represent the lowest parts of my people. So, you know, maybe they are young, help me, Lord. You got people who actively don't give a fuck about how their appearance or how they come off. They don't give a fuck how people see them. And I don't give a fuck how people see me either. So I understand that part. But they don't give a fuck about intelligence. They don't give a fuck about dignity. They don't give a fuck about standards. They don't give a fuck about they don't give a fuck about being a man. And you got grown men with their children. You got grown men like this raising little kids. Make sure my shit don't die. You got grown men like this raising little kids. Die, bitch ass nigga. Die. Bitch ass. When you see these videos, you people like that should get CPS called on them. They're unfit to have children. A lot of these people, a lot of these YNs are raised by other YNs. That's why they stupid. See a fool, follow it home, see who opened the door. That's an old saying right there. See a fool, follow it home, see who opened the door. You got the blind leading the blind. Yeah, I got a lot of shit that I hate about my culture. Because it's the same shit that's perpetuated on like a MAGA platform or like a Fox News platform. They're the same people. So anybody, any YN or any type of degenerate saying that they, you know, is fuck white people or anything like that. Like, why are you saying fuck white people? You worse than them. You're worse than them. You're worse than them. Because you live right next door to me. And you making it hard for me to be here. Bitch ass nigga. Die. Today. Right now. Go to sleep. Don't wake up. Hold your breath. Go into the ocean. And then close your eyes. And wake up in hell. I don't have a high opinion of these people, if you can't tell. That's just because I had to grow up around them. I had to deal with this shit my whole life. And then because I grew up in the hood, but I got to go to white school, I got to see the other side and how this shit affects us when we travel abroad. I got to see how these motherfuckers get down. White boys like turning up to the shit, but then black boys got to live through it. When I was a little boy and I was going to a school, I was going to a Catholic consolidated school. For anybody that's ever went to a Catholic school, y'all know how that shit go. I had a part in my head. Y'all know what a part is? So it's like right here, I had like a swirl going right here. Or I know I had an N, a cursive N in my head that I got at the barbershop. I was real proud of it because my name's Nicholas. So I had an N in my head because my name's Nicholas. So I had an N in my head, and mind you, at this same school, what the white boys used to have, they used to have their hair dyed in certain parts. The white girls would have highlights in their head. But when I came to school and I had that cursive N in my head, one of my teachers asked me what's in my head around some other white teachers. And then they told me that I had to get that cut out my head. And I did. I cried. I was a little boy. My mama did it. But I'll never forget that. That's why, as I get a bigger platform, I'm going to make sure that I speak out against that school for sure. I'm going to say it right now. It's called St. Gabriel School in Cincinnati, Ohio. St. Gabriel Consolidated School. Fuck them. Die. I hope it burns down. Not with kids in it, but without kids in it, when everybody gone, I hope it burns down. Die. But yeah, that happened to me. So what I'm saying to you is that what type of music too do you think them little white boys used to listen to and they older brothers used to listen to? It wasn't Green Day. I'll tell you that right now. It wasn't Green Day. It's whatever type of rap music was popping at the time, which would have been like Soulja Boy, Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying, shit like that though. Racks on racks on racks. It was that shit right there. Yes, sir. Most definitely, Catholic schools be on bullshit. Yeah, they was on bullshit, but they was on bullshit with me. They wasn't on bullshit with them white people. They was on bullshit with me. I had to cut my hair, but them little white girls can dye their hair. That little white boys can dye their hair. What's the difference? You know? So that's just some examples. So for those of y'all that's gonna be watching this back, I appreciate y'all being here. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I go by the name SOLARMAN. I'm speaking out against demonic entities and natures of people that live in my culture and that say that they represent my culture, like a Nicki Minaj, a whore. She does not represent black women. She doesn't represent black excellence. She actually represents the lowest tier of my people, and she's a horrible example of what a woman is. She's a horrible example. And she recently just spoke out against the killing of Nigerians in Nigeria. Killing of Nigerians. The killing of Christians in Nigeria. She just recently spoke out against this. She said she wants to thank President Trump for his efforts in ending Christian genocide in Nigeria. As if President Trump is a Christian and as if President Trump gives a fuck about any black people. Because if he did, he wouldn't have a travel ban that only affects black countries, would he? Or am I mistaken? If he cared so much about black people, why would he have a travel ban specifically that affects mostly black countries? That was old. You don't know what you... Okay. He recently said all Haitians need to get out. He's ending their protection status. Okay. He recently said that he wants white South Africans to come here, specifically white South Africans to come here. He recently did that. I'm not speaking out of place of ignorance, people. I'm just speaking about what's happening. Again, I'm not a black supremacist. I'm not a black. I'm pro defense because these people play offense, and until I can play offense, I got to be on defense. I'm saying fuck them, die sooner than later, preferably. Hold your breath and go into the street and close your eyes, please, please. Candace Owens, please. Please, Hodge twins, just hold your breath and close your eyes and just wander about and, God help you. Please, do me a favor. Since you hate your black skin so much, maybe you would wake up white next time. Hopefully for you. I would wish this for you. Because you obviously hate the body that you were born in. So, got to make sure I get all my topics in. Hold on, y'all. Y'all can go ahead and talk to me while I look up my topics real quick. I gotta make sure I get it all in. But yeah, man, I don't fuck with YN because they lost, and it be white people in the comments talking about look at these YNs. Man, don't no white boys say nothing to me, man. Nor no white women, nor no black people. Don't call me no nigga, bro. Don't call me no nigga, bro. Words, it's just words. Yeah, but words hurt. All right, okay. Oh, Young Thug. How could I forget about Young Thug? Young Thug is another You want to talk about, and we also talked about what Uncle Sam was. Uncle Tom was. Uncle Tom is not what you think it is. Uncle Tom was actually his real name. I might be getting his last name incorrect. But Uncle Tom's name was Josiah Smith, I believe, and Josiah Smith was actually a very stand-up gentleman. He freed over 200,000 slaves as him and them escaped to the north in Canada, and he bought over 200 acres of land to promote the excellence of his community. He's a stand-up gentleman, and he should be remembered as such. And he shouldn't have his name dragged through the mud just because some white people took his name and his story and did it on Broadway and perverted it. Because, that's what they do. So, we got to talk about Young Thug. Y'all know Young Thug, this faggot ass boy? Hold on. Y'all know Young Thug? I gotta show y'all Young Thug. Y'all know Young Thug? I gotta show you this picture of Young Thug. I gotta show y'all this picture of Young Thug. If y'all ain't seen it on my thumbnail, Young Thug Ninja song. Y'all heard that Ninja song by Young Thug? Since he can't talk about killing no more, and he can't talk about killing other black people that look like him anymore, he got to go to his roots, because this is who he really wants to be. Faggot ass boy. Hold on, this is who this faggot ass boy really want to be. Did y'all know this about Young Thug? Did y'all know he had that much self-hatred? Did y'all know that? I mean, if it wasn't obvious from his music, and he got some songs that sound so good, so I ain't gonna lie to you. Again, I'm not ignorant to who he is and what he done. You know what I'm saying? I didn't listen to some Young Thug recently. You feel me? That King Troop song is hard. Yeah, that Hercules song hard. He got bangers. All these people be having bangers. But what they represent is horrible. Young Thug got a song called Ninja where he hit the hook. The chorus of the song is nigger. None of that 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 nigger. Go listen to it right now after you get off this live. He's being who he feels like he is inside. That's Uncle Tom. On one hand, he a gangster, he a stand-up street nigga. He a stand-up street nigga. He a big old blood, because that makes him tough. He a big old blood, and he a street nigga who will shoot you, and he a sissy faggot boy. And then on the other hand, he wants to be white. And since he can't talk about shooting niggas no more, he got to talk about, it shows you what's really on his mind. Since he's on 15 years of probation where he can't throw up slime no more. He can't wipe his nose no more. He can't throw up bees no more. So now we see what's really on his mind. He's a racist against his own people. He's a self-hating black. He's the worst kind of black. He's the worst kind of black. He's a self-hating black. So he makes songs that the bass line is nigger because he can't rap and he doesn't know what else to say. Watch out, y'all. Watch out, y'all. Anybody come to my house? Because he's a self-hating black. He's awful. He's an awful person. Young Thug. So if we've learned anybody that he is a whole lot of people. Yeah, he's a whole lot of people. A whole lot of people are like Young Thug. That's why they support this fuck shit. That's why they'll go against me and call me a lame and say that I'm, you feel me? I want to, what? Everybody can't grow up like you, bro. Everybody, bitch ass niggas making bitch ass excuses instead of taking an accountability for their own actions. Shit that white people say that we don't do. Shit that white people say that we don't do. You know what I mean? Make sure I get all my topics because I got to pee real quick. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got to pee. I've been drinking a lot of water. You watched that interview after he got out. Oh, yeah, boy, he a bitch ass. You know what, bro? Y'all just gonna have to wait, bro. Hopefully y'all still here when I get back. I ain't gonna be too quick, bro. Too long, bro. Excuse me. Excuse me. Woo! All right, I feel way better. Sorry about that. Oh, y'all still here? What's up? Yeah. I watched that interview. I watched that interview. I got all the energy now. We're back on solo mode. I'm back on my bullshit now. Boy, I had to pee for like the last 20 minutes. Y'all don't know. Boy, I was going through it. Oh my gosh. I watched that interview where he was talking about how as you as a man. First and foremost, Young Thug, you should not be talking about how as a man because you're not a man. You're not an example of a man. You paint your nails and you wear little girl dresses. You bitch ass little boy. So you're not an example of a man. So I don't know why you talking about what a man do. Because men don't sit around other men and jack off. You know that's what he did, right? Those videos got played in court, right? You know that, right? When he was on trial. You know, they don't really talk about that shit. But he was in trial, and part of the evidence they had against him was him jacking off with some of his YSL members in the studio. You know what I'm saying? And they also watched gay porn and shit like that there. So yeah, I watched that Young Thug interview. Gay boy. Yeah, he's a gay boy. You know, and again, if he just admitted to being a gay boy, which he kind of does through all of his antics, but if he just, you know, it's like, why don't people just say who they are? Why do people act like there's something that they're not, like a straight stand-up man? You're not a stand-up anything. You're a bottom. Young Thug is a bottom. He's a bottom. You know, he's a bottom, you know, because they got the top and then he got the bottom. He's the bottom. Young Thug is the bottom. You know, he not the gangster. His brother was a gangster. He not the gangster. Anyways, I saw that Young Thug interview. Young Thug is another self-hating black. And they show it through their antics. And they show that through their music. Oh yeah, he's definitely a Freemason. He's definitely a Freemason. He said it. I'm a Mason, I beat all my cases. 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 I'm trying to stop saying the F word, y'all, but you was a bag, boy. You know what I want to say. Place the B with an F. You a bag, boy. You a big old bag, boy. You bag ass boy. You bag ass boy. I'm crazy because I live in a goofy ass world where motherfuckers want me to be normal and shit with some bullshit. Like I live in a world where in my culture, Young Thug is just now falling off when he has this self-destructive tendency that got little black boys painting their nails and shit. They got little black boys wiping their nose and shit. I live in a culture where Nicki Minaj was allowed to ride her big stupid plastic ass booty around the world and shit and act like she represent black girls and speak about black topics and black issues, which I ain't gonna say she did, but I'm gonna just say now, like, why you being all political now, bitch? Like, why you rap to us and you speak all crazy to us, but then you go on these white folks' platform and you talk all proper and you think Trump? Why you do that now? Why you do that now? You know? Why you do that now? You know? That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. That's actually crazy to me. And then I want to talk about, last but not least, I want to talk about Charlie Kirk. You know, they said this generation MLK. That's what white folks saying. This generation's Martin Luther King Jr. You know, because again, they're so infatuated with us, but we're such deplorable people. I don't get it. Why do you guys pay, you know, I'm not talking to y'all, I'm talking to them. Why do y'all pay so much attention to us if we're such a deplorable people and we have no culture, we have no we have no father figures, we have no, you know, we don't got nothing. Why do you keep listening to us? Why is he this generation Martin Luther King Jr. and not Malcolm X? Because he's the good little boy. That's why. Martin Luther King Jr., as great of a man in education and in stature as he was still a good little boy. He followed the rules. You could punch him in his shit and he wouldn't do nothing to you. Malcolm X, you couldn't do that to. And a lot of other black people, you couldn't do that. You couldn't punch us in our face and we're not gonna do nothing. You're gonna die. As you should. Because if I punch you in your face, I expect to die. You know, for no reason. If I just put my hands on you, as you just living your life, or just trying to get some freedom, and I deny you your freedom, I should die. I should. That's righteous. But Martin Luther King, you know, he was a good little boy. You could smack his bitch ass. You could stomp his bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? You could spit on him, and he ain't gonna do shit about it. But that's just what happened. He just got smacked. That's just what happened. That's just what happened. You just, in the words of Kevin Hart, you just got smacked. You know, we can talk about what, you know, how we feel about it, but you just got smacked. That's what happened to you. You know what I'm saying? Salute, God. That's just what happened to you. You just got smacked, bitch ass little boy. Nah, I come from a different stock of black folks over here. We a different type of black folks over here. You spit at me. You know, I see a lot of videos too. Oftentimes when you see violence between the races, sometimes you see, you know, you see a young man versus a middle-aged white man, or you see, but most of the time I see white men against black women. And I was like, boy, you a whole bitch. Why you talking to this black girl like that? Even if you don't like black people, you should tell her, call your husband up here so I can beat his ass. That's what you should do. That's what a man would do. But that brings me into my further topic of Charlie Kirk and anti-blackness and what it means. Anti-blackness and what it means. Charlie Kirk, who was Charlie Kirk? I talked about Charlie Kirk before, but I talked about it on 607 Unk platform while that bitch ass little boy was heckling me and making me feel uncomfortable and shit. So I didn't really get my words off for real like I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna talk about it now. Charlie Kirk was a social political commentator and debater whom he was also part of these people too. He was also part of these people too. I don't know if y'all knew that. But he was. He was a social political commentator. I ain't gonna say he was alt-right, but he was a far-right social political commentator who would comment on societal issues, particularly ones pertaining blacks. He said that the world was better when blacks were in slavery, that the relations between whites and blacks was better when black people were in slavery. He also said, I've listened to some of his words, he also said that he questions whether blacks pilots are qualified because of the standards where the FAA, you know, the Flight Association, they wanted to meet a standard of having this percentage amount of black people in order to, you know, balance out, you know, basically some DEI type of shit. And he said he would get on a flight now and he questions whether that black pilot is qualified or whether he was just hired based on that standard. And, you know, I kind of understood that. I kind of got that point. But also in that same breath, he said that blacks proportionally are lower educated and that we kill each other. You know, just what more white boy rhetoric. More white boy rhetoric. Charlie Kirk, who was Charlie Kirk? He was an outspoken white boy. That's who he was. And he speaks to the sentiment of how America is not institutionally a racially biased anti-black society. That's what Charlie Kirk was, and that's what Charlie Kirk did. That's what he would say. How you cannot prove that there is institutionalized racism. Well, let's talk about what institutionalized mean. That means that the foundation of our institutions, our governments, our hospital, our healthcare system, our justice system, is not institutionally, meaning it's not written into code, into law, that they go against blacks. So he wants to debate semantics. He wants to debate semantics. You know, because that's what these bitch ass little boys and little girls like to do. You know, when they can't argue against the overall point, they like to nitpick specific little instances where they feel like they say, gotcha. You're just complaining. You're just a complaining little black boy. So Charlie Kirk was that guy. Anti-blackness now comes into this conversation because what is anti-blackness? I'll tell you right now. Guys. Just hold your horses. For those of y'all who's going to be watching this back, I appreciate y'all being here. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We are the biggest, by the way. I go by the name SOLARMAN, and I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not none of that. I'm pro-human, and I'm pro my people. And I'm pro respect too. You're gonna put some respect on my name, or die, you know, or I'll die fighting for my respect. I'll put it like that. But let's put anti-black real quick. Anti-black meaning. All right, anti-blackness, a term used to describe the specific prejudice, attitudes, systems, and behaviors that target, dehumanize, and discriminate against black people. It is rooted in the unique history and legacy of enslavement, and colonialism, and serves to uphold white supremacy and its hierarchies. That's what anti-blackness is. So, Charlie Kirk and people like Charlie Kirk and people that be in the comments talking about fatigue. Let me just briefly touch on that. I'm jumping all over the place, but y'all know how I do. Let's just talk about fatigue real quick. Black fatigue, right? Because you get a lot of white folks that's saying this now. I got black fatigue. Oh, fatigue. I get those comments under my videos. I'm telling you. Fatigue. Just like a lot of things in this country and in this world, it's another term that these people did not come up with. Black fatigue comes from it comes from the 1960s social justice movement, civil rights movement, where blacks were fatigued with the conditions in which that they were living in and they were subjugated to in this country. It is not a black fatigue, meaning I'm tired of black folks complaining. These people hijacked everything because they don't have nothing. And they don't come up with anything because they're cunts and they're cowards. I'm at 115. I got to make it to 120. So that's what's going on with black fatigue. This country was built off of black fatigue. This country is built off of anti-black sentiment and rhetoric. To this day, certain things in the medical system had to be changed or altered because it still had anti-black bias, meaning that blacks could tolerate more pain and than others. You know how many it's 7 out of 10 black women have reported experiencing discrimination in the medical system, in the medical field. When they go get their gynecological checkups, and they've also reported, and you can go watch the videos and shit like that there. They also reported issues when delivering their child. I think it's something between 5 to 6 out of 10 black women experience their child experience some form of malpractice when being delivered, because these people still see us as less than human because they're monkeys. No, they're actual monkeys. It's been proven. They got that Neanderthal DNA in them. You know what I mean? Monkeys. And so when you do this, and I had to make this video because I see a lot of videos of and a lot of information being spread about how blacks are just, how we just complain and how we don't deserve any monetary reparations. And I am pro reparations. I am. Because everybody else got it. Japanese got it. Asians got an anti-hate bill. Native Americans got reservations and free college. Blacks get nothing. Blacks say, you get to live in this country, don't you? The 14th Amendment is still being debated. That's the birthright citizenship. Charlie Kirk was not for birthright citizenship. He said we should do away with it because blacks are Americans. But anything that was paid for in blood, the reason that we have a birthright citizenship because slaves were not considered human and they weren't considered Americans, even though that they born here, they bred here, they built the country. They still weren't considered human. They were considered 3/5 of human. So birthright citizenship comes from that, and it was paid for in blood. So I don't think you should do away with it. If anything, you should ratify it. What you talking about? You got to watch my live back, bro. I'm not going to. I mentioned various amounts of topics. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and you'll be able to be aware of what I was discussing. I'm talking about Charlie Kirk now, anti-blackness in this country. Are you aware of the topic? So that's what you're dealing with right there. I got about 2 minutes. Y'all can go ahead and ask me any questions in relation to what we just discussed. We did just discuss. Now I'm going to go over what I talked about. We just discussed the various different topics. We talked about how Nicki Minaj is a Trump dick rider because it benefits her now and her pedophile boyfriend. She's talking against the discrimination and the murdering of Christians in Nigeria. I didn't know she was a Christian. Nothing about Nicki Minaj is Christian. Nothing about what Nicki Minaj promotes or how she promotes herself is Christian. She promotes degeneracy. She promotes hypersexuality and whorish culture to little black girls. Fuck Nicki Minaj. We talked about how Young Thug is a baggot. Replaced the B with an F. He's a baggot. We talked about how he's an anti-black, destructive part of our culture as well. Let's see what else we talk about. We talked about anti-blackness and the likes of Candace Owens, who was raped by 4 white men in college because she says that black people don't have any conflict resolution skills. She said this on all white media platforms. She says this. She says that, but again, she got raped by 4 white men in college. And you know who came to her defense? The National Advancement of Colored People. Black people came to her defense and helped her get a large settlement. And did she break bread with black people? Not saying she owed anybody any money. I'm just saying the same people you talk against that don't have any conflict resolution skills. I mean, we had conflict resolution when it came to helping you out after you got raped. That's conflict resolution, isn't it? That's critical thinking, isn't it? So we talked about that. We talked about anti-blackness in America and how it's deeply systemically rooted. I didn't really go into depth in it. I might have to do another video specifically on how it's deeply rooted. I actually will, because I have another picture on my thumbnail that shows how white people perpetuate themselves as if they built the pyramids and as if they're original Egyptians. Egypt was kind of like against my people as well. So it's not like Egyptians represent all black people in America. They were just black. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of fact that they were black. We talked about that. What else we talked about? We talked about YNs and the definition of a YN, young nigga, young nigger. We talked about that. We talked about how we got to a position of having a YN because of a self-destructive culture where morals is not prioritized. We talked about that. Am I missing anything? I don't know why you're shaking your head, bro. I don't know. I don't care. Anyways, other than that, people, I'll give you guys another minute to comment. If you got anything to say to me, I go by the name of SOLARMAN. I'm actually out of here. I don't think like nobody else. I don't care if I come off as crazy. I think this world is crazy. I think society as a whole is crazy. I think if you can be mild mannered in this type of culture, I think you're kind of crazy. So that's how I feel about that. Anything to say to that? We got about 40 seconds. Yes, sir. Welcome to see you back. Welcome to see you back. I'm back. I'm back. Salute, salute. Every human should be free, not a robot. You're not crazy. LOL. Not at all. I'm actually far from it. Let me see. Make sure I ain't miss anything. She's Jewish. Who's Jewish? Candace Owens. She, black isn't just, in order, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, and just because Candace Owens looks like my people, she's not my people. That's why she goes home to, that's why when she goes home to white penis, even though she was raped by a white man, I'm not saying that all white men would do this to her. I'm just saying that, for you to be speaking so outwardly against the black issues, you're not involved in black culture whatsoever, you're kind of a self-hating black and you're disgusting. Oh, we talked about the Hodge twins as well, how they got recently called niggers at a national MAGA convention. They're very anti-black, anti-black culture for sure. Let's see, what else? I kind of glossed over all these topics in a kind of a rant style, but that's kind of like how I like talking, unless I have a specific, a very specific thing I want to talk about. But yeah. That happened. That happened. That happened. Other than that, people, I'm at 123. I got to make it to 125, so I got 2 more minutes. You know how I do, man. Any thoughts, comments, or concerns about anything that I said? I would love to discuss this with you people. I'm thinking about getting one of these, getting somebody who thinks that I'm wrong on one of these platforms. That would be nice. That would be nice to have a discussion about somebody who thinks I'm wrong, because I be seeing them comment under my shorts and stuff like that, but they don't never, like, every time I message them back, they don't never say nothing back, So it's like, oh man, I thought you wanted smoke. I want all the smoke. What happened? Let's die. Let's die today. Let's die right now. Let's kill each other with our words. Let's do it. I'm ready for it. You don't like me and I really don't like you. As much as you don't like me, I really don't like you. As much as you hate me, it's past hate how I feel about you. People that think lowly of my people and my culture. I think lowly of some parts of my culture and my people too. So, I get that. But, you categorize the lowest parts of us as if that is all of us. I don't look at white people and I don't judge all white people based off of many of you, based off many of you that don't think we deserve reparations, that don't think we deserve any type of anything because you say it was so long ago. It's institutionalized. It's happening right now today. You know what you people do. You know how you people talk behind closed doors. You know this. Don't act ignorant. That's very, what's the word? That's very unaccountable of you for you people that value accountability. That's very disingenuous of you. Very ratchet. They don't want smoke. They just want to say something to get your attention. Yeah, I know. And I be giving them the energy they look for sometimes because sometimes I be having the time for it. Just like that person that commented on my live earlier who said that you look like somebody that I wouldn't hire, as if I'm looking for an opportunity. But as if I'm looking for an opportunity to you. As if I care about what you feel like. And as if I care about what you would do. You know? Because you and I, that type of person, wouldn't be able to live in close proximity with one another. Because you would hit me with one of those smiles, but I don't smile at people I don't know. It's all energy. I'm an energy reader. If the energy's there, I was raised by white people too. White people are very good. But these type of whites that I'm talking about are awful. These black people are very good, but these type of blacks that I'm talking about are awful, and they deserve to die. Both sides. I wish death upon them, a righteous death, a holy death, today. I hope it happens soon. I hope, again, I'm describing the way that they should do it. You should share this with them. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell them this is how they should do it. All you got to do is close your eyes, hold your breath, walk into your biggest body of water you can find, or walk into the street and get hit by a car or something. Hodge Twins, Candace Owens, Young Thug. Yeah. The content house is already launched. If you guys want to work with me, I just have to, set up the green screen and the studio, which I have all the equipment. I just need to get it here. But I spent over $30,000 in like 7 months. So I'm reeing up. But other than that, it's already launched. If you want to work with me, hit me up on at SOLARMAN on all platforms. At SOLARMAN with 3 N's. I'm sorry, on Instagram, and we can work it out. And we can do stuff like that there. I'm at 126, so I got to make it to 130. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. That is what's going on with that. But yeah, when I heard that Young Thug song, the Ninja song, the nigger song, when I heard that song, I was like, you know what? You're exactly who I thought you were. You're a self-hating, unintelligent, gay little boy. You've never had anything to say. That now that you can't talk about slime, you can't talk about wiping niggas out, you can't talk about what you'll do to other black people. So since you can't do that, you got to talk about how you actually feel about black people. Niggers. So I'm glad you're revealing this. So this is a very revealing age and time to be alive. What a time to be alive. I'm very grateful to be alive in this time and day and age because it's very telling. Nicki Minaj, I've never seen you speak so eloquently when it comes to different topics and issues. But now I always see you speaking as if you're the queen, you're the boss. You're the queen of what? Whoredom? Being a whore? Being a plastic, silicone doll? What does anyone do in the content house, sir? I'm gonna let you answer that own question for yourself. But what are you the queen of? Of whoredom? You're the queen of what? Who thinks that Nicki Minaj is a queen? Raise your hand. I don't think so. She's the queen of what? She doesn't represent any type of excellence as a black woman in any regard. She only represents the degeneracy in the lowest tiers of my culture. She's a whore. Her and Cardi B. And, all them other bitches. And I'm calling them bitches because they're not women. I would never call a woman a bitch. But I will call a bitch and a hoe. Cardi B, hoe. Megan Thee Stallion, hoe. Saweetie, a literal whore. Sukihana, a literal whore. Sexy Red, a literal whore. Nicki Minaj, she presents herself as a literal whore. Yep. No respect. No respect for them whatsoever. I got 2 minutes, guys. Go ahead and get, then what is your, I'm not trying to get, I'm going to say what I got to say to you. If you're not trying to explain yourself, then why ask me a question? It doesn't make any sense. You're being ignorant now. You asked me what I'm going to do in my content house. What does one do in a content house? Nigga, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Goofy ass nigga. Fuck is you talking about? I'm not explaining myself, but fuck off my live then, bitch ass little boy. Nigga. I don't know. I don't like, you feel me? Like, motherfuckers be coming at me. Like, I be seeing a lot of this shit. Like, I just did a live with this bitch ass little boy. I forget, he probably gonna comment on my shit again. You feel me? One time. But anyways, this nigga used to ask me for advice on what to do as far as content, how to make thumbnails. And then when I started ignoring the bitch ass nigga, then he start being a hater. Then that's when y'all see me do the content when I said when I said when I made a video calling Solar Man, I talked to a YN about life, you know, because he was in my bro. If I show y'all the messages, this little bitch ass little boy was sending me. He was calling my, he was saying that my mama sucked dick. He was saying all types of little fag shit towards me. But I gave this little bitch ass little boy an opportunity to be on my platform, and I actually tried to speak life into him. You feel me? Because I'm not against my people. You feel me? Like these bitch ass niggas that be commenting on my shit. You feel me? But I can be respectful for oh so long before I get disrespectful, because it's like y'all niggas be on my shit talking to me, and then y'all want me to explain myself about some shit that I already said. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? What you gonna do in your content house? I was out. You feel me? What does one do in a content? You do content, nigga. I don't know, cuz. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I used to give all niggas the benefit of the doubt. Now I don't respect none of you niggas no more. You know what I mean? Unless you lead with respect. He didn't lead with respect when he said, I'm not explaining myself, boss. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? You on my shit. Bitch ass little boy, get your shit. You know what I mean? Get off then, nigga. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, nigga. Anyways, I'm at 1:30, y'all. I appreciate y'all for being here. You know, I'm a do, yeah, that's, you feel me? I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. You feel me? I don't know. All I know is if I'm gonna ask a question, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to assume that, you know, if I'm gonna ask a question, I'm gonna wait for an answer. And if it's an obvious question, I'm like, okay, I'm on your platform. And if the person that's on the platform answers my question, I'm going to be respectful in my approach. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to act like I'm too tough or I'm too cool. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem with a lot of shit going on in my culture too. Motherfuckers be too tough and too cool. You know? I'm not tough and I'm not cool. You know, I'm aware. You know what I'm saying? I'm aware. And again, I'm not a black supremacist. I'm not none of that, bro. I'm not a black nationalist. I'm pro defense. You know what I'm saying? I was doing that's part of the content though, bro. If you was just asking, that's part of content, you know what I'm saying? So I mean that's part of content for sure. If you was just asking for sure, I can apologize for that. I thought you was being facetious or trying to be too cool. Like I ain't answering, you ain't. But yeah, if you was just asking for sure, cool. But yeah, I do hella topics, but I mean I do more than just this. I go live every day because this is what I do in between. I go live every day because this is what I do in between. You know, I learned a lot of shit from 607. I learned a lot of shit. I learned how to do this content. I learned how to, so you know, as much as I can say he a bitch, and I said it to his face, so it's not like I ain't say it to his face. As much as I can say all that, and you know, there's definitely elements of him that is a bitch for sure, But anyways, I learned how to do this content, and I also learned, you know, what to do with the green screen, what to do with the interviews. I'm gonna have guests that I personally interview on my couch, because you know I got a couch just like Unc. I'm going to have, you know, the green screen for the mic drop and shit like that there. You feel me? And then I'm gonna have the podcast style desk. I got my desk on the way and shit too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be doing all that for sure. I forgot my last topic. I forgot what the fuck I was just talking about. Anyways, I guess it's time for me to go. For sure, I appreciate you being here then, bro. But yeah, if y'all want to tap in with me, go ahead and do that. I'm doing it for cheap right now. Like I'm doing 3 day stays at the content house. I got a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 3-story. I'm doing 3 day stays for $200. And you know, but again, that it won't just be us being on live like this. Like I'll have everything I just said, so you know it'll be your money's worth for sure. That's breakfast included. I'm doing just like Unc fed you one time a day. I'm gonna feed you one time a day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing that too. Yeah, I've been working, bro. I've been grinding. That's all I do. But I'm doing these lives every day to get these topics off of my head and also to build up consistency. You know what I'm saying? Because for any of y'all that's trying to do content, y'all need to be consistent. You feel me? You need to be consistent. Whatever you're doing, just stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? Just stay consistent. So yeah, $200 for a 3 day stay. That's right now. You feel me? And then, you know, this is the smallest that we'll ever be. I'm steadily climbing. I'm about to start putting money behind ads and shit like that there so we can get the shit out of here, because we actually out of here, bro. And I don't play no games. You feel me? I don't play no games, bro. But yeah, I talked about hella shit just very briefly for those of y'all that's gonna be watching this back. I talked about Cardi B. I call Cardi B a whore because she is. She used to rob niggas and set them up when they was trying to have sex with her. And that's their fault for paying for sex too. You know, I done did it. I done been a bitch ass nigga too. So you feel me? I done been a bitch ass nigga too. So I probably deserve to get robbed too. By the grace of God, I ain't get robbed when I was in degeneracy and I was living in my lowest state. So I talked about Nicki Minaj and how she's speaking out against the killing of Christians. I did not know Nicki Minaj is a Christian because nothing that in her life shows me that she's a Christian. And then also I talked about what a YN is. I talked about how Uncle Tom is actually not Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom was actually the story who Uncle Tom is based off of is actually a very stand-up guy. Josiah Smith, he was a man and he freed over 200 human beings out of enslavement. And then I talked about YNs. I talked about Candace Owens, how she's a self-hating black. I talked about the Hodge twins, self-hating blacks. I talked about Young Thug, self-hating, gay little self-hating black. Uncle Ruckus, you know, all these people is Uncle Ruckus. You feel me? They Uncle Ruckuses. What else? Charlie Kirk. His rhetoric was anti-black. You know, he enjoyed black culture, but when he would speak as if there's no need for any type of civil legislation or any type of dissentment in the black community for the overall treatment of blacks in this country. And so I kind of talked about that a little bit too. But other than that, y'all, I go by the name SOLARMAN. It's been a pleasure to talk to y'all here. I don't have any other thing to say. I'll see y'all next time. Make sure you stay educated. Love yourself. You stay safe. You too, sir. Stay safe and you stay aware. You know, because in this culture they want you to be hypersexual. They want you to be hyper tough. They want you to crash out, so they can add you to either the death list or to the prison farm. That's white and black. You know, this isn't a situation where it's supposed to be white versus black. But that's just how they manufactured it. It's the elites, the ones that take these oaths versus us. That's what it is, and it's more of us than it is of them. I love y'all with the love of Christ. I'll see y'all next time, Lord willing. Peace.